This is from the period of March 21st through April 10th. On March 19th and 23rd, Stop and Shop reported shoplifting. On both of the incidents, products were taken in the amount of $258.91 and $111.96 respectively. On March 20th at 7:30 a.m., Darien officers responded to a report of a dispute between two individuals. The complainant stated that while inside his home, he observed a subject pull up to his residence in a vehicle. The complainant stated that he thought the subject came to his house to collect money he owed to a family member. The subject began pulling on the door handle and knocking loudly. The complainant stated that he then observed the suspect throwing objects at his house and eventually heard glass break. It was determined that the subject threw a rock through a front window. Officers located the subject at his residence in Stamford and took him into custody. He was processed for criminal mischief second, breach of peace, and was released on bond. March 24th, approximately 3:30 p.m., we had a report of a stolen motor vehicle. The owner was taking groceries into the house when the vehicle was taken from the driveway. The keys were in the vehicle, but the vehicle was not running. March 25th, approximately 12:30 a.m., a speeding vehicle was pulled over because it did not have headlights on. The operator was arrested for drunk driving. On March 25th, 4:30 p.m., officers were dispatched to the area of 150 Ledge Road, which is the Whole Foods Market, on a report that a male had just forcibly taken money from a female party. Dispatch relayed a description of the suspect, who was last seen running towards the post road. Two parties were located a short time later and identified by the victim as being involved in the robbery. Although no weapon was used in the incident, officers found a knife on one of the suspects. Both suspects were charged with robbery third and larceny sixth. The one with the knife was also charged with possession of a dangerous weapon.
Chief, I understand that the job between dispatch and patrol in that particular incident was remarkable and quite well done.
It was, yes. Thanks for pointing that out. It was a little confusing at first, but I believe the dispatchers and the sworn personnel that were working that afternoon they collaborated well, and I think that led to them locating the suspects pretty quickly. On April 1st, 3:10 p.m., and again on April 4th, between 5:50 and 6 p.m., wallets were taken from customers shopping at Trader Joe's. They were taken from unattended purses. April 3rd at 10:30 a.m., a Darien officer responded to Ledge Road on a report of a stolen motor vehicle parked in the roadway. An off-duty Stamford detective stated that he was driving by and received a license plate reader hit on the vehicle. The vehicle was a stolen Honda Civic out of Stamford. The owner was contacted and removed the vehicle from the scene. On April 4th, the subject turned himself into Darien police officers on an active court-issued warrant. The warrant was issued on December 1st of 2023 for failure to appear. He was processed and released on his court-issued $60,000 bond. Also on April 4th, Darien police were notified that the New England Fugitive Recovery Task Force had apprehended a subject and that he was being transported to Darien. The subject had 3 active court-issued warrants for failure to appear. He was processed for 3 charges of failure to appear first and held on a court-issued bond of $300,000. April 7th, the Darien officer took a report regarding an issue a landlord was having with a tenant. The complainant stated that when entered a shared common area, the complainant and Mr. Schneider had a verbal confrontation, which was witnessed by another party. The altercation was video recorded and played for the officers. Officers responded to a Kelsey Street address and placed the suspect under arrest. The suspect was processed for the above listed charges and was released on bond. April 3rd, our area was impacted with a severe storm from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Officers received 48 calls for service during the storm. This does not account for the regular calls for service we usually receive during the same shift. Captain Hindema would like to commend the officers who worked that evening. They did a great job, and also wanted to thank the fire departments, Post 53, and Department of Public Works for everyone's help. During the same time period, not of the storm, but of this activity report, 1 domestic disturbance incident, 6 incidents of identity theft and or check fraud, 4 car burglaries of unlocked vehicles, 24 motor vehicle accidents, 3 with injuries, 137 traffic stops conducted by the Patrol Division and the Traffic Division. We had 864 calls for service during the same time period and 81 aided calls. Trainings that the department had during this same period, we had active shooter training and use of force for the entire police department. Officer Lasser attended methods of instruction, so he can be an instructor. He is learning to be a patrol rifle instructor. Officer Frazier also took a OSHA instructor course. She'll be able to instruct us on OSHA standards. And then on April 7th, the association held a benefit for Detective Benedetto at the Piedmont Club to help him and his family as they navigate his cancer treatment. It was well attended by our PD, surrounding PDs, and all 3 of our fire departments. Also town hall staff and employees and citizens of the town. We'd like to thank the Piedmont Club and all that donated their time and financial resources for this event.
So extremely busy, to say the least. 864 calls for service, 81 aided calls, 137 traffic stops, and so on.
Welcome to the
Yep.
chief spot. It was certainly a busy couple weeks for our new chief.
On my first week, I think we had an earthquake, we had a solar eclipse, we had the storm that
Hurricane.
some were saying it's close to a hurricane. I'm checking the boxes for sure.
All right, anything else you want to elaborate on? Anyone on department activities?